Are gender roles real? Where did they come from? What's the root of women's liberation, and who's to blame? Is anyone to blame? And how does all of this tie into capitalism? Big recording today, we discuss systemic institutions and their effects on the sexes. VidarReturns. Apologies for being temporarily on hiatus. Last month was a very busy time personally, and we plan to resume normal recording releases, so let us begin. It goes without saying that for over 99% of human history, men and women had very specific jobs, mostly different jobs, yet symbiotic jobs to one another. The job of men being the warriors, the defenders, the hunters, the leaders, and the primary providers. When a foreign enemy would attack, then it was the responsibility of men to protect the lives and secure the domain. And when the home was out of food, then it was the responsibility of men to find or kill some more food and bring it back for others. In contrast and contribution to that comes the job of women, being the mothers, the caregivers, and the maintainers of home. The most important responsibility of females is the mothering of young, and we can see this is true for any species that exists. The life and health of the next generation is what determines the future. Rather than male and female roles, this we shall refer to as the natural order of the sexes. Females as dependent on males for protection and resources. Males dependent on females to foster and raise the young, while the children are dependent on both to survive and prosper. That is the historic and natural order of the sexes. Though through the agricultural revolutions, society grew, wealth grew, trade flourished, and we would see distortions of this natural order become more prominent. As a result, we would begin to find anomalies occur. For example, the oddity of a female in high leadership roles, such as a queen ruling the domain of a kingdom. Though such distortions of the natural order were rare in the past, they are much more common in our modern age of capitalism and technologically advanced society. Today we don't just see females in leadership positions, there are legal requirements to promote females into leadership roles. In general, the sexes have different aptitudes and ways they may excel in modern society. Though when we excel in ways that are not in alignment with our nature, then the result has consequences for society, psychological and otherwise. Capitalism is able to use males and females in many ways that don't align with our nature. For example, males can take on jobs that specialize in caregiving, such as being a male nurse in a hospital, or working as a caregiver in a children's nursery. But rather instinctively, we have a tendency to understand the unnatural. Most people prefer to be taken care of by a female nurse, and almost no parent would be psychotic enough to take their child to a daycare center that had an all-male staff of workers. We have to be taught, or perhaps brainwashed, to accept things of such unnatural order. One such thing we are taught is to accept females as fully capable as males, working just about any position of society. We are influenced to believe that women aren't just as qualified as men in every aspect, but often more qualified. At this point, we are coming up against the subject of feminism, but we aren't going to go down that rabbit hole today. The point here is that, in regards to advanced technology and capitalism, males and females often are very interchangeable. A male cashier, a female cashier, a male bus driver, a female bus driver, assembly line worker, a customer service representative. In general, either sex can perform the job just about as equally as the other. For the majority of human history, such jobs didn't exist. They came as a result of trade and capitalism. Human-for-human interchangeability is a valuable aspect of capitalist society. Lay one person off, hire another person in their place. This interchangeability in the aspect of the workplace gets confused with equality of the sexes. The sexes aren't equal. not in thought, not in word, not in behavior. But they can perform near equally in many jobs within capitalism. It is this job interchangeability in combination with a constant background of propaganda telling us that all people are equal, all sexes and all races are equal. The majority of people are successfully convinced into the illusion. Though if they pause to consider it just for a few minutes, they might find the absurdity of such notion of sex equality. Clear examples of where females are often not as capable as males are law enforcement, military, firefighters, and rescue workers. The less technologically advanced a nation is, the more they tend to recognize these obvious truths. Yet even in most advanced nations, we will still find pockets of individuals who have rejected the propaganda. Individuals who may not fully understand the depth of the illusion, but their instincts would not let them accept some of the most extreme absurdities. Something we can consider about our modern system is how female dependence on close male relationships is reduced. Firstly, a female can now go out and work and have money for rent and for groceries. Female dependence on a male as provider is reduced. Next, consider how she can travel to and from work, or the store, or any number of places, without having a male companion alongside to protect her. The sheriff and police services greatly reduces a female's dependence on a male as a defender against danger. We aren't even going into single mother welfare systems, healthcare systems, and other embedded functions of most highly developed nations. With this, quote, liberation of females from males, is it any wonder why something like feminism was born? Our modern system has replaced a large portion of the natural order for males with institutional systems. When direct dependence on male relationships for survival goes down, then that has psychological effects and consequences for society. As our modern society decreases the ability of individuals to fulfill the roles of the natural order of the sexes, then consequences will inevitably increase. Males and females becoming frustrated and losing their natural attraction to one another. Marriage rates going down, divorce rates going up, homosexuality and perversion on the rise. As sexual perversion grows, laws can be made to suppress it, but unless the underlying cause is addressed, sexual perversion will simply fester and grow in hiding. Similar to trying to hold a balloon under water, pressing the balloon down doesn't solve the problem. To prevent the balloon from surfacing, you have to release the air. Males and females are both suffering from institutions of modern society. Males having been robbed of their natural instinct to be more like a male lion, and instead being kept in a docile cage. A few of the different ways this expresses itself are perhaps violence and prison, perhaps living in danger or thrill-seeking, or perhaps self-medicating. To finalize, here are 3 points to take away. Point 1. In the absence of taking measures to counter the effects of distorting the natural order of the sexes, we can reasonably believe the more technologically advanced a society becomes, the greater the repercussions of distorting the natural order will become. Point 2. The results of such distortions is that males and females both become more frustrated with each other, seeing each other as combatants rather than allies. Relationships can become destabilized and short-lasting. Sanctity of union goes down. Perversion and homosexuality goes up. Point 3. On surviving modern times. Let us regularly meditate to clear the mind. Question the propaganda that is all around us. Why are females encouraged to fulfill jobs like law enforcement and lead management, but aren't encouraged to fulfill jobs like electrician, construction, or sewage worker. While meditating, think onto our primal ancestors and what their daily life and struggles were. The struggles of our ancestors were great, but very different from the challenges we face today. Agree or disagree? Let us know in the comments. What are your thoughts on the male and female order? Now's the time to catch it if you haven't heard our previous recording titled Children Destroying the Earth, Global Anti-Natalism Refuted, where we discuss the movement of global depopulation and why we should reject it. Link in the description. Also follow now to stay updated with all our content. We're on Steemit, Gab, Minds, and Odyssey networks, and live chat on the Matrix and Session networks. Links for everything in the description. We send out love to all our brothers and sisters. Stay blessed. VidarReturns.